Good morning everybody, it's Greg here again, another hiatus, whatever you call it, been away from the bench a while again. Been getting bits done on the dry, I'll show you them on the next video. But this is one of the new Takom kits, it's the M1Super Sheman, Israeli Defence Force by Takom. I like the box art, it's very nice. I do like the Shermans, I must admit. I never really liked them that much, but once you start building a few, you sort of fall in love with them a little bit. But you see, we've got four different things we can have. Manoeuvre Exercise 1961, Jerusalem 67, 10th Armour Brigade, 16th Etizoni Jerusalem, Infantry Brigade Jerusalem 1967, and 29th Tank Battalion 16 Etizoni Jerusalem, Infantry Brigade Jerusalem 1967. I was two, I was two when that was all going on. So work that one out, I was two. And as we normal with Takom, we have a sprue layout on the side of the box, so you know what you're actually buying. And it says its hatches can be built in open and closed position, suspension and roll wheels movable, detailed static display, plastic model, PE and clear parts included, metal gun barrel included, 4 types of markings, figure not included with working tracks. So, and the kit number for that is smaller than normal, 03012206. Right, so let's delve into what we normally do. Just open the box. I've had a quick rummage through it, but that's as far as I've got. And there is another one, there's the Easy 8 Sheman, and this is basically the same kit, obviously with just different bits in it, which I do have coming. Right, so we'll pop that down now. I'll pop that across the side of me for now. And let's have a look what we have here with the tub. No point opening it up really, it's just basic tub with the Sheman. We'll go over the whole hog and we'll do it. Yeah, as far as the dio is concerned, I've finished the actual vehicles now. They're all complete. And I've made a start on the road bridge, which I've nearly got finished now. And I've decided to put a little rowing boat, capsized rowing boat or sinking rowing boat in the river. So I've been doing that yesterday. It isn't quite finished yet, but it's not far off. And then I can start on the actual dio itself. So we have a tub, yeah, 2025. Nothing to shout out about. Obviously got bits to add to that. And it is square, which is decent. Makes a good start if the actual tub is square and not twisted. At the moment we're having a bit of a heat wave over in the UK. It's like maybe not too off for some people, but it is for me. I don't like too much sunlight. It affects my neck. I'm what I told her to keep out of the sunlight inside my throat cancer, so that's what I do. Excuse to come to the bench. Right, so this one is got the little bits and bobs. Not sure what they are. Wind indicators or something. No, part of the running gear, I presume they are. Maybe for the I don't know. Little grab handles. I'm not too sure what they are. I reckon for the idler wheel. It's 4, so maybe there's different variations, I don't know. Shouldn't have thought so. And we have a bit of Commander's cupola, which is nicely detailed. It really is quite nice and crisp. It looks like a loader's hatch. Little bits and pieces, very small pieces, some of them. So be very careful taking them off. That's for the Commander's cupola. Sorry, that's the Commander's view as well. Hatch at the top. I mind about saying loader's hatch. Nicely detailed on the cupola. Yeah, I like that. It's got it's got a slight cast texture as well on that, which is nice to see. And a casting number, if you can quite see it. We've got a casting number there, which is quite nice. Takom's are bringing some nice kits out at the moment. Well, a lot of companies are bringing out nice kits, that's the problem. Right, then we have the upper hull. Again, she's been packed with a bit of bubble wrap to protect the bum a bit likely. And again, this looks really nice. Oh yeah, I'm liking that. Liking that a lot. Cast texture. Probably add my own again to it, but you don't really have to. But really nice. Really, really nice. See the casting detail on there. Went along the sides. Nice detail on the front. On the rear. That's really nice. I'm liking that. Yep. That's really nice. Yeah, as I said, we're having a heat wave at the moment, so it's a bit on the warm side. Well, for us Brits anyhow. And the turret, trust me, I'm coming down with a cold as well, which is bloody typical. We have the turret again, really nice casting numbers. Oh, really, really nice. I'll start off at the top. So on the sides, we've got casting numbers on the sides and some witness marks, presumably for the smoke launchers. I presume we have them. Not too sure. I'm not looking. Again, really, really nice. Yep, I'm liking that. And that's in a Ziploc bag for some reason. Maybe they're out of plastic bags. Yeah, so far it seems to be a nice looking kit. I picked it up for 38 quid off AliExpress, and people don't use a lot of AliExpress, but I've never had a problem with them. I get a lot of my kits from them, and 99.9% have come in a good time and being well boxed, so I can't complain. Right, this one is transmission cover, radiators, right, looks a bit, no, not radiator, the engine hatches and things, other bits and bobs, rear plate, rear party add-on for the idler, for the sprocket to go to, and again all lovely air cleaners at the back. There's the bolt things for the transmission cover. Again, really nice. No flash. Presumably these are side skirts. Again, they look quite nice them actually. They've even got the actual lip on the top of them there, so you don't. Yeah, I'm liking that. Liking that a lot. Again, with the casting texture on the transmission block and casting numbers. Some nice nicely deal parts on there. Again, really nice. Yeah. Yep, liking that. Liking that. There's plenty of plastic in it. It's only a small box for Takom. Usually Takom have big boxes, but this one's only a small box. I'm really bothered. As long as it builds up to a nice kit, I don't really care what box it comes in. And these are the optional, these are the extras you get with the M50, M50? M1, sorry. 51. Is it? What am I talking about? M1, I thought it was. Super Sheman, you got a bit of stowage to put together. Yeah. So this is just basically for the M1, the stowage. Again, that's nice, I like that. That's for the machine gun. If I can get it seamless, it'd be even better. Shouldn't be too much of a problem, but again, really nice. And the stretcher, which is typical sort of thing for IDF. Bucket as well, and a lid. That's the lid for that, must be for that. A couple of rucksacks and things. Again, nicely done. This one has got the, looks like the a bit of breech detail and the lower turret. Again, nice detail on the dust cover. Mantlet, again, nice, got the casting numbers on it. Slide moulded muzzle brake. Slide mold, it's a one-piece barrel, but there's a metal barrel in the kit. Again, all nicely done. Yep, really nice. Yeah, we'll start with the mantlet. Got the details, the casting number, dust cover. The muzzle brakes been slide moulded. Part of the breech. I don't know if it's a full breech or just a part breech, and the lower turret. It's some little bits and pieces. And gun cradle as well. Again, all nicely done and nicely ended. And say, if you've been in UK, you wouldn't expect to find any flash at all. Up to now, I haven't seen any. I don't expect to find any. I'd be disappointed if I did. And this part here has got the 50 cal. Sponsons, Pioneer tools, 50 cal again. Drivers and loaders, so drivers and machine gunners bow covers. That looks like the loader's hatch. Rear doors. Again, all nicely done. Slide moulded lights. And you got the main light and you got the rear lights. Slide moulded. And I say we've got the hatch covers for the bow gunner and driver. And all the base of sponsons, so there's no light bleed through. And again, the 50 cal, it depends. I may have it covered with that cover if I can get it to work properly. If not, I've got a 50 cal there, but I've got a nice, I'll show you actually. I think I've just got them to hand. That's some nice 50 cal. I've got them off eBay. I've got these just, you know, while they were relatively cheap. You've got all the details there. You've even got the ammo boxes and things like that. Nice detail on those. You've got two different kinds of muzzles. Again, will take time to do, but I do like them. Again, beautifully packed in a box as well, but from shorter space, so I got rid of the box. So I'll just put it in the into one of my drawers. Again, mate, really nice. So I'll be using them in future Sheman builds and things like that. Depends if I can get that dust cover working nice, I'll use that. If not, I'll use one of those 50 cals on there. Right, then we start off with the ring gear. We have sprockets and road wheels as normal. For the Sheman. We have two of these sprues, but obviously we only get the one out. No point in two out. Again, really nice. Lovely detail on the wheels. Back and front. Spare wheel for the idlers as well. Idler wheel. Choice of sprockets. Transmission hub. There's some little markings on the tyres, but I can't quite make them out. Return rollers, really nice. Nice stuff. We may have built the sprocket in a few pieces by looking at this. Spare tracks. Doesn't matter about the injection marks, so you won't see them because they'll be onto the kit itself. Filler caps. So there's the is that for the sprocket or for the idler? It must be for the sprocket. Again, really nice. I don't know if you can make out the lettering on the wheel. It's quite small, but there is something there. And you see we've got all the different sprockets, which we'll have to check when we get into the instructions. Well, hello Percy, one of my cats. He's come to see us, and then we've got the idler wheel that goes on there, which is nice and detailed again. Yeah, that's another nice sprue. Even cats are flat out on their backs at the moment. It's too warm for the cats, I think. My daughter's just filling the paddling pool up for my little grandson to go and have a little paddling before the sun gets too high. So, yeah, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of these sprues. And obviously these are the tracks. I'm going to take some building. But I say I don't mind building tracks. I really don't mind building this. You got a little jig there to build, so it's not going to be too bad. No, not going to be too bad at all. Nice detail, individual guide horns. But there again, you know, we like to have a challenge, don't we, now and again? Really nice. Take a bit of doing, but it'll work. As long as you don't get glue in the wrong place. Excuse me. Excuse me a sec. What? Sorry about that. Just my daughter. Hoping for something. I'll go down and see what it'll do soon. And the last screw are light guards. Small details for the bogies. So there's two of those as well. Again, all nicely detailed, nicely done. Again, we can't complain. Lifting up there, the idler. Even the little light guards are not too bad either. They're quite the best ones I've seen for quite a while in a kit. They're not too chunky. You're buggered to get off there, like, but we'll see. Again, detail is nice. A lot of you are not going to see, obviously, when the bogies are a bit built up. But yeah. So that's all the plastic. Now, well, no, sorry, it's not all plastic. We have the clear parts. And the instructions. Have a look at all the bits and bobs first, and then we'll have a quick flick through with the instructions. Right, we have a bit of copper wire for the tow cable. Again, why can't most companies do that? You know, I know it might actually expensive a kit, but it's going to be minimal, isn't it? Instead of bits of bloody string. So we have that. We have the decals in a Ziploc bag. Again, they're all white and black, just I showed you. I won't take them out of the pack, if you can see. Never had any problem with Takom markings. We have the barrel, which is roll off. Again, nice. You've obviously got the muzzle to go on there, which is slide molded, so there'll be no seam lines or anything like that. Take it out. A little bit of PE, which is normal for Shermans. You don't get a lot of PE in Shermans. You've got some more light guards. Yeah, little bits and pieces. Again, just enough for what you need, I reckon. And finally, we have the clear parts, all the periscopes and things like that. Again, I won't get them out, but just all the clear stuff there. And last, this is the only thing I find sometimes with Takom, is the instruction sheets are a bit too small for my liking. And you get all the glasses, you have to wear glasses, bloody triple strength to read them sometimes. But typically you got your parts layout, applying decals, removing PE, all that kind of stuff. on the front, bit of blurb on the front, just saying that since the birth of Israel has been under pressure from its enemy, more so even now. There's a bit of reading there if people are inclined to read about it, which I do. I'll read about that. I'd basically start off with the transmission cover, adding it to those parts that was on separate from the bathtub, putting it onto the bathtub, getting the bathtub built up. Yeah, nothing. It's typical Sheman build really. Even the building of the wheels, the sprockets, the bogies, and bogies again, putting onto the thing, which I won't be doing at that point. And then we have, jump to place of that. And we're building other tracks, which I won't be doing at that point. I'll probably do first thing before I make a kit. Again. And then we've got air cleaners at the back. Yeah, nicely done, adding the sponsons. And we're doing some work on top of the upper hull, like the ball gun, the Q-View filler caps, little bits and pieces, adding the inside the periscopes. I won't be doing that point either. I'll keep it, the low hull and upper hull separate. And again we start with the light guards and with the bits and pieces. Again we've got a former by the looks of it, never seen that. So we have a former for the light guards and that, which is quite nice to see. Because you can use the right bugger count to get them really round. And then again we're just carrying on with the adding all bits to the upper hull. With Pioneer tools and other bits and pieces. And carrying on again, we still have more Pioneer tools, rear storage rack built up and then added to it, and there's another former there for the rear lights, guards, and adding the lower hull to the upper hull, adding the engine. Oh, there's something on there then. Ah, see, it goes underneath that, right, I see. Right. Yeah, that's what that's for. Nice. And then we've got just a closer in view of what the actual, when you're putting the parts together, it gives you a little closer view of what it should be, which is for the mud guards there. Yeah, that's very decent. But a telephone, looks like a telephone box. Yeah. Choice of, you can either have the gun cradle locked or open. Yeah, adding the stretcher, little bits and pieces, tow cable. Nothing too strenuous so far. Maybe the tracks. And then we start on the turret. Again, fairly straightforward. Adding all the bits and bobs. Start on the commander's cupola. Again, won't be adding the glass until nearer the time. Adding that to the top of the turret. Again, small bits and pieces, aerial. Yeah, for the aerials. Aerial got the light. Presume we can have that up or down. Some other bits and pieces. Yeah, again, all nicely done. And then we're adding this, it's only a little breech, as I thought, it was only a couple of bits of the breech for it to go inside, so if you do decide to keep it open, there's a little bit of breech in there in the turret, nothing too much. And then this is the part where you've got the dust cover for the 50 cal, but we'll play that by ear. And then again for the dust cover for the mantlet, and you've got this main beam light here, which is quite a big chunk, so we'll have to watch that. And we're doing that up. And we're getting near the end of the build, adding the storage, things like that, making the buckets up and other bits and pieces from muzzle, adding the gun to the turret, adding all the bits and pieces of storage that came, again, and then just start finishing them off by adding them, and I think that's the build complete then. Yep. That's the build complete, and then we've got colour call outs for the for the Sheman, which is always nice to see colour call outs. I know it makes no difference on the Sheman, but it never give you a top down view sometimes, especially if you're doing a camo pattern. So we have that one there, which is the manoeuvre exercises, and then we have the other one, which is the 10th Armour Brigade, that one there, and then you've got Jerusalem 1967 and 29th Tank Brigade on there as well. So we've got, got 4 choices there. If they're all the same colour and that, but the decals are different. And I must admit, it's quite a nice looking kit. It's quite a nice looking kit. Sheman. I'll say when the other one arrives, it'll be basically the same, but just the extras taken out, like the storage, maybe they've had something else to be other one, but we'll find out when that arrives. Yeah, so I will do a video on the keep promise I'll do a video on the update, but I will at some point. I just want to get farther along and show you some meaning progress that I've actually got done, but it will be coming along very soon. I keep forgetting to say in the comments in the description at the bottom, I keep forgetting to say about the airbrushes, the gallery airbrushes, which I get I'm sponsored by, so wrong. I can get a discount for you people to get like 10%, whatever it is, and if you buy through Amazon I get a little bit of a kickback, which is, I don't know what it is, I've never had any here. So, but yeah, they are a nice airbrush, they are worth having, and probably the best airbrushes for the price. Like I say, you've got the old gallery. This is Mobius Point 2, which I use quite regularly, fine detail, and I have to admit it's probably one of the best airbrushes I've got. And I use their the GAD 39, one of the cheaper ones. That's basically a workhorse. This one here is my workhorse, this one. This one here is my workhorse. And I use that most of the day, well, most of the time I spray. Over for bigger details like putting the camo pattern down and whatever and things like that. But they're the 2 airbrushes I mainly use, and the other ones as well. I've never used the pistol grip one yet. I will do at some point. I'll probably use that when I get my room sorted, because I'm going to build a ship. Not sure which one yet, but I will be building a ship once I get my room sorted. I'm just waiting for my daughter to get her house sorted, and then all this stuff in here will be going in the loft, and I'll have an extra table in there, so I'll be able to do bigger builds. Right, so thank you very much for your patience, and a lot of new subscribers, and thank you very much to all the old subscribers for sticking with me. I know I don't put a lot of content out at the moment, but that will change as time goes on. So this is Greg signing off, and we'll catch you very, very soon with an update on the Sheman build. Okay, bye bye.